Most people think heart surgery is the end of intensity, a warning sign to slow down, a forced retreat into caution and compromise. That's exactly why C.T. Fletcher's story hits differently, because instead of retreating, he rebuilt. After open heart surgery, after doctors told him his days of pushing limits were over, he made a decision that most people never do. He didn't ask, how little can I do to survive? He asked, what do I need to remove so my body can perform again? That shift in thinking changed everything. C.T. Fletcher didn't come back by adding more workouts or chasing extreme supplements. He came back by subtracting the foods that nearly killed him in the first place. Heart surgery didn't scare him into weakness. It forced him into clarity, and clarity is powerful. When you've stared down mortality, excuses disappear. What remains is truth, and the truth is this: most heart issues aren't random. They're built slowly, meal by meal, habit by habit. CT knew that if he wanted a second chance, it had to start with what he refused to eat. Not what he added, what he eliminated. The first category he cut out completely was processed meat. Bacon, sausages, deli meats, hot dogs. Foods packed with sodium, preservatives, and nitrates that inflame blood vessels and raise blood pressure. Before surgery, these foods were normalized. After surgery, they were recognized for what they are: silent strain. Processed meats force the heart to work harder while offering almost nothing nutritionally. CT removed them without hesitation. That decision alone reduced fluid retention, lowered blood pressure, and eased stress on his cardiovascular system. His heart needed less effort to do the same work. That's not theory, that's physiology. The second food group he eliminated was refined sugar. Not just candy and desserts, but hidden sugars in sauces, drinks, and packaged foods. Sugar spikes insulin, drives inflammation, and damages blood vessels over time. After heart surgery, inflammation isn't something you manage casually. It's something you avoid aggressively. CT understood that sugar wasn't just empty calories. It was a trigger for fat gain, poor recovery, and arterial damage. By removing refined sugar, his energy stabilized, crashes disappeared, recovery improved. His heart stopped fighting constant metabolic chaos. The third category he eliminated was fried foods. Fried foods are loaded with oxidized oils that inflame arteries and stiffen blood vessels. For someone with a compromised heart, that stiffness is dangerous. Before surgery, fried food was part of life. After surgery, it became non-negotiable to avoid. Grilled replaced fried, baked replaced battered. That change reduced inflammation and improved circulation. Blood flowed more freely. The heart didn't have to push as hard. The fourth thing he stopped eating was excessive salt. Not natural salt from whole foods, but the massive sodium loads hidden in packaged meals and fast food. Excess sodium increases blood pressure and forces the heart to work overtime. CT didn't eliminate salt entirely. He eliminated mindless sodium. Cooking his own meals gave him control. Control meant stability. Stability meant safety. The fifth thing he removed was alcohol. Alcohol stresses the heart, disrupts sleep, and interferes with recovery. After surgery, there was no room for compromise. Alcohol offered no benefit that justified the cost. Removing it improved sleep quality, hydration, and heart rhythm. Recovery accelerated. These 5 removals formed the foundation of his comeback. But eliminating harmful foods wasn't enough on its own. He had to rebuild intelligently. His diet shifted toward whole, unprocessed foods that supported healing. Lean proteins helped preserve muscle without overburdening digestion. Vegetables reduced inflammation and supported circulation. Complex carbohydrates fueled workouts without spiking blood sugar. Healthy fats supported hormone balance and joint health. Everything had a purpose. Nothing was random. His new workouts reflected the same philosophy. No reckless ego lifting, no chasing pain. Training became intentional, controlled, progressive. Strength work returned gradually, respecting recovery. Cardiovascular work focused on improving heart efficiency instead of exhaustion. Movement was daily, but intensity was earned. Rest days mattered, sleep mattered, stress management mattered. CT listened to his body in a way he never had before. Pain wasn't ignored, fatigue wasn't glorified, recovery wasn't optional. That intelligence is why he didn't just survive, he thrived. His transformation after heart surgery wasn't about becoming softer. It was about becoming smarter, stronger systems, cleaner inputs, fewer insults to the heart. The result wasn't just improved health markers, it was renewed power, renewed confidence, a body that could train hard again without risking collapse. His story forces an uncomfortable question. If removing 5 foods could give someone back their life after heart surgery, what are those same foods doing to people who haven't hit that wall yet? CT Fletcher didn't get lucky. He got disciplined. And discipline, when paired with honesty, can rebuild even a damaged heart. What separates CT Fletcher's comeback from most post-surgery stories is that he didn't confuse recovery with fragility. He respected the surgery, but he didn't surrender his identity. That balance is rare. Many people either ignore medical reality or become prisoners of it. CT chose a third path, responsibility. He accepted that his heart needed protection, but he also knew his body still needed challenge. The key was sequencing. First, remove what was killing him, then rebuild what kept him alive. That order matters. Most people try to outtrain bad habits. After heart surgery, that illusion disappears fast. You can't outwork a damaged system. You have to reduce the damage first. Once those 5 foods were gone, his body finally stopped fighting itself. Inflammation dropped, blood pressure stabilized, recovery sped up. That created space for training to actually work again. Training without constant internal resistance feels completely different. CT noticed it immediately. His energy no longer crashed mid-session. His breathing felt smoother. His heart rate recovered faster between sets. Those are not cosmetic changes. They're signs of a system healing instead of compensating. His new workout structure reflected this awareness. Warm-ups became longer and more deliberate. Mobility work wasn't skipped. Joint prep wasn't optional. These weren't concessions to age. They were investments in longevity. He understood that muscles can recover faster than connective tissue and cardiovascular systems. Respecting that difference kept him progressing instead of regressing. Strength training returned with purpose. Compound movements remained, but loads were chosen intelligently. No grinding reps, no ego battles. Tempo mattered. Control mattered. He focused on muscle engagement rather than numbers. That shift reduced strain on the heart while still stimulating growth. Intensity didn't disappear, it matured. Conditioning work became strategic. Instead of exhausting his heart, he trained it to be efficient. Moderate, steady-state cardio improved circulation and heart capacity. Short bursts were used sparingly. The goal was resilience, not punishment. Punishment nearly killed him once. He didn't need to relearn that lesson. Rest days became sacred. Recovery was scheduled, not improvised. Sleep was protected aggressively. Late nights disappeared. Consistent sleep stabilized hormones, reduced stress, and supported heart rhythm. Many people underestimate how much sleep deprivation stresses the cardiovascular system. CT didn't. After surgery, he treated sleep like medicine. His hydration habits tightened as well. Dehydration thickens blood and increases cardiac workload. He stayed ahead of thirst. Water supported circulation, joint health, and recovery. This wasn't about being soft, it was about being precise. Precision keeps you alive. His mental approach shifted too. Before surgery, intensity was identity. After surgery, discipline became identity. Discipline is quieter, but far more powerful. It shows up every day, even when motivation fades. CT didn't rely on motivation anymore. He relied on systems. Meals were planned, training was scheduled, recovery was protected. Systems removed decision fatigue. Decision fatigue leads to relapse. He eliminated relapse opportunities by reducing choices. His mindset around food changed permanently. Food stopped being entertainment. It became fuel. That doesn't mean meals were joyless. They were satisfying without being destructive. Clean proteins, vegetables, controlled carbohydrates, healthy fats, nothing extreme, nothing reckless. Just enough to support training and recovery. His heart didn't need excitement, it needed consistency. Alcohol never returned. There was no negotiation with it. Alcohol disrupts sleep, hydration, and heart rhythm. After surgery, those disruptions were unacceptable. Removing alcohol sharpened focus and improved recovery. The absence of hangovers alone restored days of productive training and clarity. Stress management became intentional. Chronic stress elevates blood pressure and strains the heart. CT learned to recognize when intensity crossed into harm. Breathing, mental focus, and pacing became tools. He didn't eliminate stress, he managed it. That management preserved his nervous system. A regulated nervous system supports heart health more than most supplements ever could. His story carries a warning that's easy to ignore until it's too late. The foods he eliminated weren't exotic poisons. They were normal, accepted. Celebrated, that's what makes them dangerous. Normalized damage is harder to confront. CT had to face it. He dawned because his life depended on it. Most people won't get that wake-up call until the damage is advanced. His transformation proves that removal is often more powerful than addition. You don't need more hacks. You need fewer insults, fewer inflammatory foods, fewer metabolic spikes, fewer stressors. When the body isn't constantly repairing damage, it can actually adapt and grow stronger. That's what happened to him. His post-surgery physique wasn't a miracle. It was a byproduct of internal health returning. Muscles respond when hormones stabilize. Fat drops when insulin calms. Energy rises when inflammation falls. CT didn't chase aesthetics, he chased health. The aesthetics followed. His comeback wasn't about defying doctors, it was about honoring biology. The heart heals when it's supported, not punished. Discipline after surgery didn't make him weaker, it gave him back control, and control is the real power. His journey sends a clear message. You don't have to wait for a crisis to change. The same 5 foods he eliminated after surgery are quietly damaging millions of hearts every day. The difference is timing. He removed them after the warning. Others can remove them before. That choice determines whether health is preserved or rebuilt under pressure. CT Fletcher didn't just survive heart surgery. He used it as a reset, a line in the sand. everything before was a lesson. Everything after was intentional. That intention rebuilt his body, protected his heart, and gave him back years most people assume are lost forever after such a diagnosis. His story isn't about fear, it's about responsibility. And responsibility, when taken seriously, can reverse trajectories that look permanent.